Hey guys, so coming to you from my vehicle for this beautiful download that I received this morning. And I wrote it all down. I've been working a lot with automatic writing these past couple weeks, ever since I had that big activation in the last week of January. I've been playing with it a lot, and it's actually a beautiful way to just connect and receive the message. And it's very clear and very specific. And that's what happened to me this morning. And I want to share this with you guys because I think it's really important. So I wrote it down. A lot of it I'm going to share verbatim, and then I might go off on little tangents to try to help you guys understand it as much as possible. They said they were going to keep bringing me downloads to help explain like complex topics that are very galactic way of looking at things and hard for the linear human 3D mind to really comprehend and wrap their heads around. But they're simple. They're such simple concepts. We just have to get out of our group think and our accepting these programs that are also not just in the 3D human matrix aspect of things, but they're also infiltrated in the spiritual community. These stereotypes, this groupthink, this one way or the highway, this fitting everybody into one box. And so, yeah, here's what they came through with, and I'm just going to start reading, and then I'll go off on tangents if need be. So they said there is no cut and dry path. There is only your path. Anytime you buy into a stereotype like drugs hold you back, they use this example, which was a great one. Anytime you buy into a specific stereotype like drugs hold you back, you interfere with authenticity by consenting to group think. And they were referring to drugs like weed and psychedelics and stuff, those drugs that like open your mind. I don't even like calling them drugs because there's this whole connotations and energy tied to that word as well. So yeah, okay, on with it. Every single groupthink idea, when I go in quotes, they literally wanted me to put these things in quotes. So you guys can kind of like take whatever energy you want from that. Every single groupthink idea holds you back in the sense that it takes away from the thought or idea being in your own authentic energy. What is meant by authentic, in quotes and all caps, is that it's untampered with by anything external. So anytime that we have a thought and then we see something that we've learned in the external programming or anything else, and it manipulates that thought from being what it would have naturally been from your authentic higher self. Okay. All right. And then it says they wanted me to explain what they mean by source. Source is the higher self. All aspects of me simultaneously feeding me knowledge from infinite love, light, Christ consciousness, source energy, the Atman, the all that is. Because everything is happening simultaneously. All aspects of you are occurring right here, right now. This is why referring to past lives is very linear and will seem like such a revelation to those who open up to the Atman and to the fact that everything is happening right now. Seeing something as past or present is a silly concept when you feel with every fiber in your body that every aspect of you exists right now. Every lifetime, every single perspective you've ever embodied. And this is what they want you to know about that. You can pull from every lifetime, every single perspective you've ever embodied. You can pull energy, knowledge, emotion, talent, anything from that lifetime and use it right now because you have it right now in that lifetime, which is really nothing to do with time. It's happening right now. And the reason we use time, it says, hold on, in that lifetime, which really has nothing to do with that. That's just how humans attempt to understand it, by assigning time to it, because that's what humans do. They think in a linear 3D way, and they think of something as like, think of a timeline when you learned in school, like your past life. That's why lately when I talk about my most previous past life, they immediately correct me and were like, Stop thinking of it so linearly. So you weren't necessarily that person just before you became Kelsey, because it's not about it being linear. And I'm about to show you guys a visual aid that they wanted me to draw for you so you could really understand this more clearly. My soul doesn't necessarily come like out of that person from the most previous life into purgatory and then into the next person. You're constantly pulling from every lifetime and every moment. Okay, I don't know if that made sense to you. That's just me trying to explain it from my human perspective of things, trying to help you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. Okay. So here's where they brought in the visual aid. It says, I'll read it to you and then I'll hold it up and explain it to you again. Picture a big circle, and inside of it are all of your lifetimes. Your higher self is the big circle, and it can reach inside at any moment and use the energies, talents, etc. that you have in that space, in that lifetime. Now take your higher self, the big ball that contains all the lifetimes, and see it as a water droplet in the ocean. It is the ocean. There is no separating it. The ocean is source energy. So for the sake of explaining this, they're taking the higher self out and putting it into a water droplet, okay? And inside of that water droplet is all of your lifetimes. This is what they had me draw. Let's see if I can hold it up so you guys can decently see it. So the big blue ball is your higher self. And then all the little dots in there are your quote-unquote lifetimes, okay? And then that big ball is the droplet, okay? That's your higher self. And it is a part of the ocean. It is one in the same as the ocean. It is the same thing. And the reason somebody would get confused trying to understand this is because they try to separate the water droplet, your higher self, from source. But in order to try to understand this as a human being, you have to understand that it's all one and the same. But you have your unique higher self who pulls from all the aspects of all these lifetimes. And it was funny. I was like, can I find, while I was drawing this, I was like, can I stop drawing balls? Like, how many balls do I have to draw inside of the higher self? Like, how many lifetimes do I have to draw? And they said there wouldn't be enough paper. There wouldn't be enough dots to ever fill it. Because that's how many perspectives you hold, because you are part of source, the all that is. So yeah, it sounds so paradoxical, because that is just how the universe is. It's like one big paradox. But you are the all it is, and you can at any time reach inside and connect to any gift, any vibration, higher vibration, lower vibration, anything at any time. And that's what activating your dormant DNA, which they try to tell you is junk DNA that does not exist. Activating it is what allows you to open up more and more and more to access more and more and more of the all that is, the Atman. So I don't know if this helps you guys, but this is what they wanted me to show you. All right, let's finish the explanation. Yeah, and I wrote down, they said the lifetimes would never fit on the page. It's infinite. You are infinite expansion, okay? And that was it. That was the whole thing. And I really got triggered to share this with you guys this morning, because it is so difficult for the human mind to really understand it. And if anyone who is at the vibration where they're ready to receive this information, they're going to have ahas. They're going to be triggered like, oh my gosh, and like just have these realizations come in. And if that didn't happen for you, that's fine. It's a process. Everybody is on their own journey, learning at their own pace. There is no hierarchical aspect of looking at this. No one is better than the next person. They're just pulling from a different consciousness at that time. And they're trying to expand. That's why when we come in here, we choose everything. We choose our parents. We choose the traumas that we want to experience, everything for the sake of learning that lesson to expand more and more and more. And how do you expand? You face the darkness, you face the traumas, you don't suppress your shadow. That's why it's so funny they brought up for one person drugs like weed and psychedelics will hold them back, but for another person it will catapult them on their journey, because we don't fit into a box. Our healing process can't fit into a box. You can't go to some guru and they give you some one size fits all lesson and then expect it to work for you, because you aren't the same as not any other person in your journey and what you chose to come in and learn and heal from and expand how you chose to expand. So anytime you're receiving information from anyone, even if you are receiving it in just random thought forms that come to your head, use discernment. Say, am I like looking at this from the perspective of programming and group think, which can happen in the spiritual community, can happen in the matrix, it can happen anywhere? Or am I coming from this authentic place that is truly a connection to my higher self? And an easy way to discern that is, do I feel good when I have this thought pop into my mind? How do I feel emotionally inside of my body in that moment? If you feel good, you can probably trust it. If you feel like you're vibrating at a higher frequency, which is that of love, understanding, peace, joy, all those, look at the chart of emotional, how your emotions compare to what your frequency is. And that's how you can judge whether you can trust this thought form that comes into your mind. If you're feeling pretty shitty or triggered in the moment, then maybe you probably can't trust that, because you probably have your ego in the driver's seat, and that's not you coming from a higher perspective. That's you projecting based off a trigger, something that you need to face. And when you need to face something and you're not feeling good, that's when you observe. That's when you know if you're not feeling in the right space. You just sit back and observe. You don't act, you don't speak, you don't make rash decisions, because you're not connected to your higher self. So you can't trust that instinct, because it's not your true instinct from your higher self. It's an instinct from a connection of a lower vibration, which is your ego. So I really hope that brought some clarity for you guys. I really felt called to come out and deliver that message while I was still in the energy of what I received. I don't like to like write it and then hold off and then express it. That's why I haven't shared my previous automatic writing that I received at the end of January yet, because I feel like I haven't been back into that same energy that I would want to deliver it in. So yeah, I love you guys. My Instagram is still shadow banned. If you want to actually get my posts and know that I'm posting, you have to go down under my bio where it says following, click down the drop down arrow and receive notifications for my posts. Otherwise, you will not see them on your feed or on your story, because I'm shadow banned on there. But I also have Telegram where I'm sharing some truther stuff, but I've kind of like gotten away from it because I've been called a lot of spiritual stuff lately. So you can still follow me on Telegram. That information is below my YouTube video here, or also on my Instagram. And if you want to make a donation, everything I do at no cost. You can do that with the information below my YouTube video. And I really appreciate you guys, and I hope this helped you understand a little bit better. I'm going to make this the cover photo for this video so you can screenshot it if you want to. Yeah, love you guys. Hope you have an awesome day.